All right, talk about cyber risk. This one's 3 years old. We're just finding out about it. Yahoo shares are plunging now after report the biggest hack ever. But as I said, it happened 3 years ago. We're just finding out about it now. Cyber Pro Paul Viollis with us on that. Paul, it seems that you and I always meet when we get these revelations. We got to find a different way to chat, my friend. But how is it possible we just find out about this now? This was back in 2013.
Right. You know what, Neil? I think this is one of the biggest examples of damage control run amok that I've ever seen in business. And where Marissa Mayer is coming from at this point, where she clearly knew what was going on, and not only does she not report it to her shareholders or stockholders, but she doesn't report it to the necessary people so that, you know, their own users of Yahoo information will know just how corrupted that information was and how exposed they were.
I'm just wondering, how does it come to their attention? I know we've addressed this before in cases like Target. That was more than a year later or whatever. Is it the company can't be sure it's been hacked, or they try to get a sense of how broad it is? What?
You know what, Neil? The bottom line is that they know unequivocally that they have been breached. There is no question about that.
So why can't they say right then, as soon as they get word, we've been breached, boom, get the word out?
They can.
So why don't they?
Neil. There's no excuse for that. They don't, because they're trying to play CYA at that point and to really disclose to the depth of the breach that occurred, how many people were really exposed, which is interesting to the point right now is they still don't know how many people have been victimized by this particular breach. So the answer to your question, Neil, is that they're trying to get as much information as possible before they say anything, but there's still no excuse for what they did here. There's absolutely no excuse.
All right. Now, again, the White House is indicating that the FBI is looking into this, but a lot of people's accounts were compromised, possibly tens of millions of them. And in what way? What would have happened, or what could have happened, or what still could be happening now if their accounts were compromised?
Okay, so look at it this way, Neil. The information that's been disclosed thus far is what we refer to as gateway information. Name, social security number, your security question that you fill out, and passwords. Now, this information in and of itself, depending on what they have in that Yahoo account, may or may not open up to a larger risk, but it will clearly take them to other areas, them meaning the hacker and the analyst, the criminal analyst that's going to now look into that individual. It will take them to the point where now they can look into other parts of their lives, because clearly people use the same information. So they use this for Yahoo, they're going to use it for their bank, they're going to use it for their brokerage accounts, they're going to use it for just about everything else. So this gateway information can lead to a significant amount of exposure for every person that was exposed.
I always think it's something that's happening right now, and we won't find out about it for a year or more, you know?
How do you justify that? How do you look somebody in the face, much less a billion people, and say, listen, my bad, we knew, we just didn't tell you? Right? I mean, how do you do that? And the other part about this, Neil, it's something you and I have talked about, is we need to learn a lesson from this. If from the business perspective, which obviously you'll forget more about business than I'll ever know, but the little bit I do know is, look, we have a responsibility for shareholder value. Look at this deal, whether it's a non-state or in-state actor. Look at this deal with Verizon. Verizon came back to, you know, and said, look, you know what, now we're looking at $1 billion less. If CEOs across the country are not learning a lesson from this about how important it is to preemptively look at their systems from a cyber perspective, I don't know what they're going to learn from.
Yeah, we should explain that Verizon was looking at cutting $1 billion off the price tag as a result of this. Others should do that kind of stuff. All good stuff, Paul. Thank you very, very much.
Good to see you. Merry Christmas, Neil.
To you as well, my friend.